Hopefully they don't pause again.
Yeah, I believe all the problems have been fixed here, so we're getting underway here with game number 2 between Pain Gaming and Isurus Gaming. Pain 1 win away from advancing into the semifinals. Isurus 1 game away from losing this one. Level 1, do you expect to see anything sneaky coming in here from either of these teams?
I mean, you got Annie stun and volley bear flip, but it looks like they're just gonna stare grimacingly at each other once again. Like, they just sit there and they just make this little line. I don't know.
That's exactly what happened in the first game, though. I mean, obviously teams were swapped on the other sides, but they just held that river, that line of scrimmage. Didn't want to go for anything aggressive. And you know, in Isurus' state right now, like, should they go for something aggressive? Should they try to make a play happen right now?
I mean, this is another game where Pain Gaming has that jungler that really needs blue buff. Last game they had the Amumu, and this game they had the Maokai. So I think that they really should be looking to control that blue buff. I would actually initiate a 2v1 here. I would send my 2 people top, and I would late invade that Amumu. I mean, late invade that Maokai to try to deny him his blue and try to shut down his early game. Because like I said, this game all depends on how good Sir T does. If he gets that good early game and he manages to make it out of that, they'll probably win the game. And looks like Isurus is not really doing anything to control that.
Well, I think I spoke too soon because they still have 4 people over towards this top side. They actually put the ward down. They spotted Sir T, but they decided to back away here. And will they go to the top side? Will they try to invade from the top side of the jungle? Yeah,
actually looks like they're gonna go for the late invade. I am incorrect. That or they somehow hear me up on the stage.
Could be either, not sure. But I don't know. It looks like Isurus realizes that we need to do something here, just like you were saying before. It looks like they're going to try to control this here, but Pain, can they steal it away? Can they smite it? Are they going to put a ward down? They see they get the flip on Sir T, who just kind of sits there. I'm not really sure why he didn't do anything.
And yeah, he just stood there like a deer in the headlights. He's like, oh God, it's a bear. He just got flung in the team and died.
Well, just like that, we see the first kill go over to Chalita, who had a really strong game. He didn't really build damage like you were saying you wanted to see out of him, but to get first blood that early on and that easily, it just seems a little weird.
Yeah, that's going to be massive. Shyvana will go to bottom lane a little bit late, but he's only really going to miss 1 wave of XP, which in a 2v1 is not that big a deal. This Maokai, though, is going to be so far behind. He has to not only solo his red, but he doesn't have a blue buff now. So watch his mana after he gets done with that red buff. He's not going to have any mana. He's going to be chunked so low. So you're not going to see any early game presence out of this Maokai.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for him. And Nerid, he has blue. He's taking his on red as well over on the top side of his jungle. But these 2v1s, you were expecting this, and you were right on that. But how do you think these fare? Like, who benefits more, Olaf or Shyvana in this 2v1?
I mean, both teams have good 2v1 champions. Olaf can farm with his axes, and Shyvana can farm with her flame breath. And they're both really tanky and hard to dive. So it really depends on this volley bear. He actually might try to dive that Olaf. The Olaf has Ghost. He doesn't have Flash, so I'm actually wrong. He is a pretty good target to dive just because he has that Ghost. I'm glad that they see this. Really good play out of Isurus. It's just, can they execute the dive properly?
Will Venom know it's coming either, and he has to assume something's happening here. He actually does get spotted. He's actually trapped into the stun. Does go on a Venom here. Leaves by tanking up the turret. We see the red buff happen. The Ghost just popped here, but he's not even trying to run away. He's just trying to survive, and the turret actually goes over to Lucian. So another kill going over to Isurus right there, and that just seemed a little too easy for him.
Yeah, I mean, he has Ghost. He doesn't have Flash. Once that Annie stun hits, I think Annie went a little bit too early, so they didn't really link up their CC and their damage very well. If he had Flash, maybe he could have gotten out of that situation a little bit better. He probably still would have died, but he could have chunked them out a little bit more. But you see, everybody's full health here, and they're not really scared of the Maokai. Remember, the Maokai is level 2. He didn't get blue buff.
And this is really interesting, is that Sir T, he hasn't invaded for the blue buff to take away from Isurus. It's still available right now because Nerid is on the top side, went for that gank. And I wonder, in your opinion, is that maybe a mistake? Because he probably knew he wouldn't defend that turret anyways by himself.
No, he actually played that perfectly.
Oh, he did?
He
okay.
went and he took the blue buff and he took the red, and the top lane, when you dive it...
Oh, no, sorry, I meant Sir T. Why didn't he actually invade and take the blue buff away?
I mean, he doesn't have any knowledge of it. By the time they saw the volley bear, it's already too late. Like, he's already up at the top of the base, and he's already diving. It's a little bit too late.
Well, we did see Pain actually take the Bob turret in response here, and taking a look at early CS, you have 30 CS for VRTC compared to the 21 of Genfix, and we see blue buff actually. Looks like everyone's kind of collapsing in around it on Isurus. Just want to make sure they can defend against us here. And
I think they're actually trying to make a power play on Dragon.
Oh, wow.
They have a very good Dragon team. The passive on Volley Bear allows you to tank Dragon out very well, and also Shyvana's E does percentage-based damage to the Dragon. And of course, Karthus is really good at doing major objectives. It's just, I want to see how Pain Gaming decides to contest this, or if they even decide to contest this at all.
Oh, the stun does land on the Minerva, who actually did flash to get away to get some range here, and they're still taking this dragon up. It's doing a lot of damage to Nair right there, and it's getting very low. We do see the hook, unfortunately, not land for Minerva, but he does knock them away. We see Certi coming in with the flash, or sorry, the flash, the spike comes in for Nair. They do get the kill, but the fight's still going down towards the bottom side. You see Genthix pushing out, I believe that was Annie towards the top, not Annie, sorry, they're actually going straight for Thresh right here. Thresh is getting low, Minerva's going to drop, the Ignite is not going to do anything, and they're chasing that BRTT, who does have that flash to get away, so they're, actually, there doesn't have the flash, look at the wrong side of the map, but he is going to escape. We're going to see another kill go for Isurus, and Dragon on top of that.
I gotta say, that whole situation was from a lot of hesitation on Pain Gaming's part. You even saw it, the Thresh tried to throw the max range hook, he walked up and he flayed them away. All their initiators were kind of really scared to go in on that fight. If I were that Thresh, I would have flashed into their team, flayed them into our team, and then just start railing on them while Dragon is still half health. Because you have to make them, they have to make a choice as whether they're gonna fight, finish that Dragon, or are they gonna turn on Pain Gaming. So I think that Pain Gaming didn't pressure them enough. They were too hesitant and they're a little bit too scared to go in for that contest on Dragon.
Well, because of that, they're now down 3-0. They're down about, well, getting close to 2,000 gold as well on top of that. And Isurus, they're looking like a completely different team than we saw prior. And Chalito has even picked up a Doran's Blade because he's now 2-0. He only has 6 CS, so he's down quite a bit in terms of that. But look at overall gold, he's still ahead about 400.
Yeah, he has 2 kills. He has that top tower gold. He has the dragon gold. I think he's pretty happy right now. I think he just wants to get a couple levels. He's only level 3 right now. He's just going to hang back because potentially Venom could all in him and kill him, but I think he's just going to wait for that wave to push into his tower, and he's just going to farm it there.
And you're seeing Pain actually group up middle here, try to put some pressure onto that turret, but you do see Lismar actually show up and keep them pushed away here. In the meantime, you're actually seeing Genthix over towards the bottom side. He's actually just farming up here, and he's actually catching up and will surpass BRTT in just a second.
It looks like he's actually trying to freeze this wave. I mean, that's a pretty smart play because there's not really an objective to go for, but you can see mid lane is really pressured right now. Pain is pressuring it really hard, but it looks like the Karthus is just going to be able to farm all that out. He's level 6, so he has 3 points in Q already, and he can just clear that wave out on his own, looks like.
And he has the mana too to pretty much hold this push back for quite a while, which definitely helps them out quite a bit. And you see, Certi was trying to go for somewhat of a bit of counter jungling here, but he's actually being followed by Nariot right now. It looks like he's visiting to top side. And we do have another pause coming down. I'm not sure which side it actually came in from, but it's a really interesting time to have a pause, because if you're Pain, you're down 0-3, and if you're Isurus, you kind of have this high going for yourselves, realizing that you're ahead in this game and you can pull this one back to take yourselves to a game number 3. I
mean, I think Pain can come back out of this. It pretty much is going down how I thought it would. They have a weak early game, and a lot of this game hinges on Maokai basically not getting run over. He got beat up pretty bad in the early game. He lost his blue. But I think if Pain Gaming plays the team fights right, and they just kind of slowly farm out this game, and at least just don't give up too many dragons, they can make it to the late game and come back against Isurus.
Well, let's see what happens, because we do see an advantage, at least in the hands of Lismart. He's got a Sight Stone already built up. He has those 3 assists. He has that early extra gold. He went straight for that. He even had a Doran's Ring on top of that for a little bit of extra harass. I guess that kind of showed that they wanted to go for that 2v1 on the top side, and they wanted to make that early kill happen.
Yeah, I see a lot of Annies. They just opt for the Doran's Ring instead of the Doran's Shield, and I think that's definitely the way to go if you're going to be 2v1ing anyways. You're not going to really be getting that much gold generation off of killing creeps if you get the gold per 10 items, and you just want as much damage as possible if you're planning to do that dive. And it looked like the way they played that early game, they were planning to do that dive from the start. So good item choice by her.
Well, we're only 7.5 minutes in here. I'm not actually being told just yet what the problem is, but I'm sure we'll get that told to us just a second. It looks like it's the same person's actual PC too, so maybe everything's going to be done with him in just a moment. But this game, I mean, we can look across the CS as well. We currently have Venom, 44 CS to the 18 on Chalito. But you were saying that before, obviously Chuzo has his 2 kills, so he's pretty happy right now. Just trying to catch up in terms of levels, but the game has gone back underway here, and Certi is just going to visit this top side, not go for a gank. But look who's in tail. They have, the rest of the team currently coming up from middle.
Yeah, this is a really strange play. They want to 4-man push this top turret. I guess they feel like they can get it because Shyvana, of course, is a little bit behind in levels until that wave hit. Looks like they're just going to bully it down, though. Really late rotation by Isurus Gaming. And the reason this is happening is because, remember, I was talking about the Lucian was freezing bottom lane. So they're free to just put whatever kind of pressure they want.
And they go in for the flip on Venom into the back of his team. He still has the ultimate available if he wants to escape. He did pop his Ghost right there, though, just to make sure he does run away. But we do see Lucian pushing middle here, and Isurus, they actually turn this aggression around. They forced him back off his top turret. They kept it alive. And we're going to see Genthix pick up quite a bit of damage on this middle turret.
Yeah, I actually really like what Lucian's doing here. He's putting pressure on the mid turret. He's forcing Orianna to come back to the mid lane rather than helping out top.
This is really unfortunate if you're paying gaming too, because Kami, he wants that blue buff, he needs that blue buff, but it's just being taken away since Isurus had the timing out at the beginning, since they stole it away right off the bat. They're going to lose out on this one, and because they took their own blue a little bit later, Pain won't have the timing on it as well.
Yeah, and both junglers are actually pretty behind on levels. Volibear should be a little bit higher level right now. He's only level 5, he just dinged it off of sharing the XP on that blue buff. And the Maokai, of course, is level 4. He's not going to have any blue buff, of course. But interesting note about this, the change in the Spirit Stone I think helps out Maokai a little bit more because it allows you to sustain your health and your mana a little bit better than the old Spirit Stone did.
And he's actually at 26 to 14 CS, so he's leading in that in some sense. He's actually at 1800 to the 2200, so he's not that far behind in gold. But those blue buffs definitely could make him a little bit higher level. And now you see Isurus the ones. They're going for aggression on this middle turret. They spotted out BRTT bottom, and they won it.
Yeah, nobody's in position to defend this. Even if he hit that hook on that Shyvana, I don't think they would quite have the follow-up damage to kill her. She's level 6 now, she has her ultimate, so she would probably just jump out of that. It looks like Draven's just trying to push up bottom lane. Dragon comes up in a minute and a half, roughly, so I think he wants to get that bottom wave pushing so they can all get set up and ready for Dragon.
Well, they're going to lose the turret in middle off this either way, and to give a little bit of extra gold over to Isurus now. That does go down in the hands of Cholito, and they're already heading down towards this bottom side. It looks like they want to catch out BRTT, or at least take away the red buff, and they're going to do it that one.
Yeah, this is a completely different team than we saw last game with Isurus. They're doing really good objective control. They're controlling all the buffs. They're rotating. They're taking towers very fast. I really like seeing this. Maybe this is what we're talking about, where they're just getting that rallying game. They just need to build up steam and just need a little warm-up game.
Yeah, that momentum, it can become very dangerous if you're a paying gaming star now with what Isurus has been able to do so far. But like you said, Dragon up in about a minute here, and that's really where you think the action might go down. But will Pain actually try to contest it? I mean, yeah, it's not that far behind, but they also have a lot of damage still behind him just because you have an Olaf.
I mean, both teams have pretty good Dragon fighting team comps, but I'm not sure. I think it's all going to be on who gets the better engage.
Okay.
And Pain Gaming's engage is a little bit wonky. I mean, they can hit a Thresh Hook, they can have Maokai rooting in, they can hit an Orianna ult. But I think if Isurus is on top of like flashing those abilities, or watching out for those, or if any or like a Thresh Hook misses and they counter engage on that, I think that they could just get sweeped, especially with this 2,000 gold lead.
And I really wonder how this game's going to go off of this next Dragon too, because I mean, yeah, Dragon, it has been changed a little bit. It's not as strong early on, but it can definitely give you at least the motivation for Pain and the confidence to start, control, or at least trying to control their own jungle a little bit better. But only 11 minutes in here, we do have still a big CS lead for Olaf in the top side.
Yeah, Olaf just ported back to base. It doesn't look like they're going to try to go for the contest on the Dragon, though. It looks like their confidence is a little bit beat down. I guess it's a smart play. I don't think that they would win the Dragon fight, to be honest. That Volibear is looking pretty scary, and Shyvana is pretty tanky, too. Yeah, so I think it's a good play to just not go for it. I think, though, Olaf should just stay top with more pressure up there, though.
Well, look at that early Ancient Golem rush out of Neri, like you're saying before. He's very, very beefy right now. We do see a BF Sword coming in for Genthix, so it looks like he's going for that Bloodthirster as that first item. And over BRTT's, still on about 1,600 gold, but he hasn't bought just yet. He looks like he wants to farm up a little bit more before that happens.
Yeah, I mean, they see that they're pushing a bottom. He has to stay down there and help hold that. But Maokai is actually pretty good at clearing out waves, especially if you put more than 1 point in your E. So I think they're going to be pretty good about holding that.
Well, they do lock that one down. It seems like Isurus, to me, it seems like, I don't want to say cheesy at all, but they're trying to catch Pain off guard like multiple times. They're trying to counter them or push a different lane where unknowingly to Isurus, they're already there.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's cheesy. They're basically
cheesy,
they're trying to win off of lane rotations and by turret control, and they don't want to give Pain the chance in the breathing room to farm and to catch back up. They want to be controlling those objectives. They want to be like, hey, we're at your tower. Are you going to come try to stop us or not? Are you going to be up top farming? Or are you going to come stop this tower? And it looks like Pain literally have no answers. They have no clue what to do. You can see Olaf is just running back and forth mid like an idiot. He has no idea what he's doing.
I wanted to tune on that for just a second, but yeah, just like I said, we do see Isurus pick up another turret of the game. That is the third for themselves to the one only on Pain, and they're still in the vicinity to maybe go for a fire now. Pain, maybe look for something themselves because Karthus is not there just yet. Dynamax is heading down from top, and you're seeing Kami kind of realize where he is and just kind of force him away, but there's still all 10 members, 13 minutes in, are on this bottom side of the map, and Isurus are still pushing down.
Yeah, I think it'd be really dangerous for Isurus to try to go for this bottom turret, though. Even though they do have this gold lead, I don't think they have... Nobody even has an item completed yet. I mean, Karthus has a tier and a catalyst and a blasting one. He doesn't really have any of his core items. Shyvana has no core items. You got Spirit Stone and Volley Bear, and no BT on the Lucian, so I don't think that they should be trying to force this objective just yet.
Well, they do wisely back away right there. Looks like they're going to head back home here and buy up a couple of items, and still on a decent amount of gold. We see Chalita sitting on about 1,300. We see Genthix sitting on about 1,300 as well. And looking at the other side, I mean, just look at the wards that we have down in the hands of Isurus. They have wards everywhere in the enemy jungle, and it looks like they're definitely trying to control that and contest it. But we do see blue buff is available, and you already see the pings come down out of Isurus. They want to contest this. They want to be able to make it so Pain can't get a single blue buff.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to take this one away from them. They don't seem like they're in position. But one thing to note off of that bottom push that they did is there was a pretty huge wave that they had pushing in top, and the tower ate up all those CS, so the Olaf's not going to be able to recoup any of that farm.
And it's really unfortunate for him, and that CS lead that he was able to build up is starting to dwindle away a little bit here. You're seeing Isurus go for that invade, but they're going to be a little bit too late here, and they were able to take red off of it last time, but I'm not sure if they're going to be in position to make that happen this time. They will spot, though, BRTT is bottom, and that might give them that option to go for a push on a top lane. And Venom, he has ultimate available. He actually pops his ghost a little bit prematurely right there.
That's a little strange. I don't know. He just wants to run around really fast. Maybe it'll scare him off.
Oh, it doesn't look like it's doing that, unfortunately for him. He does get stunned up. He does still have his ultimate available, though. We do have Genthix joining into the top side, as well as Dynamax here. And if they can just get that flip they need, they might be able to pick up a quick kill and force a turret. And you're seeing BRTT went back to base, completed his Bloodthirster, and is heading up towards his top side return. And as you were pointing out earlier on about the waves being shoved in and being pushed up, middle just ate up an entire wave as well.
Yeah, I think that's the main goal that they're trying to do with this. They don't want them to be able to catch back on the farm. They want to push and make these towers eat these waves, and they want to make the enemy team fall behind on XP and gold. So pretty good play by them, but this is, the funny thing is you usually don't see this kind of play with the Karthus. The Karthus, usually you see like an extended laning phase. You want to get kills with the Karthus ult. You want a laning phase where you're going to be able to collect a couple kills, wait on your ultimate to come back up, get some more kills, wait on your ultimate to come back up, and then you play a slower game with Karthus. So it's really interesting to see them going for this kind of fast rotation, fast push comp.
And what about the items that we see, picked up here? Chalito, he's going for that Sunfire Cape. We look at Venom, he's going for pretty much the exact same build he had last time. Looks like Ninja Tabbies, that Negative Trunk Cloak, and that early Vamp Scepter.
I'm not quite sure he's going to go for a Hydra or a Blade of the Ruined King in this. I don't know. Olaf can go with so many different builds. You can build him DPS or tank. Looks like, yeah, he's going to go for more of a tank-oriented build. I think that might be a Randuin's or a Sunfire, so... and of course, Ori just finished her theme, so she's losing those blue buffs is not going to be as big of a deal for her anymore.
And we do see Isurus going for a red buff here yet again. This is the second one taking away the game for themselves. They've been all over Pain's jungle, and you pointed this out earlier, I just want to bring it up again, is that Isurus could look like a completely different team. They're controlling objectives a lot better, they're roaming around a lot earlier on, and there's about a minute left on Dragon here, so I wonder if we're going to see Isurus go for another Dragon off the bat, because they were there last time right when it came up.
Yeah, it's a minute till it comes up. The Draven, I think, should stay top and keep pushing. I mean, he sees most of their team in the bottom lane. I think he needs to be putting more pressure on the top lane and force Isurus into a bad situation. But said he's going to come down here and try to hold this turret. It might be a little bit too late for him to get there, though.
And Pain has some good wave clear, too. I mean, you have the Orianna, you have that Olaf to just land the Q across the entire minion wave. So I would have to agree, they definitely could afford to go for that. But then you think about the flash engage, less smart if they want to go for it. If they really want to dive under a turret, which I want to assume they're not really willing to do right now without really any armor items completed.
Yeah, they don't really have that many items completed yet. The supports are so behind in levels right now. The Thresh is level 6. I mean, the Annie's level 7. She should be about that level. She's roaming out with her team. But it's just so painful to see a level 6 support at 17 minutes in the game. You could just die. I bet you Karthus could ulti, and he would just, like, die. You go to, like, 100 health.
I mean, he's sitting on currently 112 AP. Almost has rank 2 ultimate, so it's very likely. And you're seeing Isurus, they realize Dragon up in about 8 seconds. Let's ping on it, let's get there. And they're going to be there yet again here. So just completely 180, complete 180 on their entire team. And I'm actually glad to see this. I'm glad they can take the loss that they just had and come into this with a fresh new mindset and be able to take Pain, to over a 4,000 gold lead.
It doesn't look like Pain is ready at all for this. They're coming in pretty late. Minerva has like a somehow negative hit ratio on his hooks. Somehow he's hit less hooks than he's thrown. I don't know how it's possible.
I don't think I've seen him hit one on a champion yet.
Yeah,
Player.
I gotta say I don't think they should have first picked the Thresh. He looks really unconfident on it. I don't even think he understands how to play the champion. I'll go as far to say that.
Well, I mean, if you think back to how Dragon happened, when you were talking about him, you know, harass him a little bit earlier on, maybe flash play into the team, and I think that might be what you were talking about. But we just see a gank bottom lane, Genthix getting caught here, overextended. We're going to see Pain finally pull back and kill for themselves, and the crowd who's been silent this entire time just woke up.
Yeah, they're like, oh, wait a second, wait, we might win. Cheer for him, guys.
Well, right now we see really nothing for Isurus to take currently. They have 26,000 gold to the 22.2. You see pings coming down on that middle turret, so that means that they're going to try to defend against this. And here TT has that Bloodthirster done. They're going to get some good damage onto it, but Dynamux with that blue buff, it's been really hard to push past that to wait for. Oh, we see the flash right there. He doesn't get the flip though. The anti-stun comes out. Oh, 3 people! Carthus is sitting in the middle of his wall. TT's going to go down, and Isurus are chasing down. There's the card result for the first one of the game. Minerva's going to survive for a very little bit as Kami's able to run away from the rest of his team. So Pain coming out the victors of that fight, taking down 2 people, taking down the tanking area, and only losing BRTT because of that. But will that be it?
Yeah, I mean, Carthus has a lot of ramp-up time. He went with the Roa build with the tier, so he doesn't have that much AP yet, and he's not going to have that much AP until he finishes Archangel. So once he hits that power spike, I think Pain actually might be in a lot of trouble, even though they came out ahead on that team fight. And I think they made a mistake by not pushing bottom with their 2 people they had bottom after they got that kill either, because they knew everybody was mid, and they knew they had them occupied there. I think that they should have pushed with the Olaf and the Draven, or wait, was it Maokai? Or whatever. The Draven should have kept pushing bottom and putting more pressure on that turret.
And the blue left will be going over to Kami here, and we do see CRTT actually catching out Genthix yet again, but will they commit for the fight here back to back? We see Lister gets a stun onto him to keep him backed away, but he gets called to hook. The first one from him, it's all flag! They're gonna get the kill on the Annie. BRTT picks that one up, and he has 2 kills now after being quiet this entire game.
All right, see, he finally got to the hook. He hit a hook and somebody died. I sense a trend here.
Oh man, I think that's typically how it should go on a Thresh.
Yeah. But you just actually have to hit the hook, so that's the hard part.
But Pain, they've been playing like they just woke up, like they're sleeping for the first 17, 18 minutes of the game. And if we think back to how that engage started middle, that was a flash at a Nariot who didn't actually flip anyone.
Yeah, these are some really wonky engages. These team fights, I mean, they don't look clean. It's not just like, nice, you got the pick, and you're going to kill this guy, and then we're going to wombo them. It's just more like, let's run at each other and hope we both kill each other. I don't know what's going on here.
And the thing was, because I wanted to point that out specifically because Nariot, he was doing so well on his engages on Zac last game, but he just seemed to be struggling right now.
I mean, he actually, he's behind on CS on the Maokai. Remember, the Maokai has not had a buff the entire game. That's because he's been grouped with his team this whole time. And I'm not really a fan of the boots of mobility either on Volibear. If I'm gonna go a boot like that, I'm gonna go boots of swiftness, or in this game I'd probably go Ninja Tabby. I want to be as tanky as possible on Volibear, and I want to be able to scrap it out. But as you saw, when he got caught mid lane, instantly died. So I mean, he is building a little tankier, but he has no magic resist right now. How much does he have? He has 56 magic resist. So if that Orianna and that Maokai can combo him together, he'll just probably pop. Well,
speaking of the Orianna, look at the items that she's picked up. You know, Haunting Guys, Sword Boots, that 59 magic resist pretty much turns into like 30 or even less than that. It's
almost doing true damage to him at this point. So I don't know. I think he needs to get a Negatron cloak in here or something. The Volibear is just going to be really squishy until he gets some magic resist.
Let's see how this does develop. And the thing is, Isurus, they had control of the game the first 17 minutes, but Pain, they seem to have finally able to control the back. They've been able to control their blue buffs, able to get over to Kami a couple of times now. And Isurus have stopped grouping. They have stopped trying to go for that group pushing, trying to catch the lane swaps happening on the Pain side. And it seems like Isurus kind of like, oh, well, we thought we'd be winning a little bit more right now, and we're kind of stuck what to do.
Yeah, it looked like they lost a lot of steam after they got all those outer turrets down. They have been picking up a lot of dragons, but they don't really seem like they know what they want to do. I mean, they're not sure if they should group and push or they should split it out. And until Dragon comes up, I don't think that they really understand what to do right now.
Well, we'll be up at about 1:10 here, and that 4,000 gold, 2 to 4,000 gold that they've been able to develop across these 20 minutes has dwindled down now to about 1,400. So it's going to be really unfortunate for Isurus, but trying to hold on to this turret here. We see even the Colin coming out, trying to push that wave back out as everyone recoups here, and we're seeing Chalito. I don't I believe he is spotted in this general direction because of that ward, because he was trying to harass from the middle. But he's actually just going to head down bottom, try to get, or maybe not head down bottom. He's going to try to go for, I want to say a sneaky engage here, but it looks like
I don't think he's going to be able to get much with it though. And that bottom lane is going to be cleaned up by Draven. So he'll have that wave pushing in their favor by the time Dragon comes up. So I think you're going to see a pretty big Dragon fight going in here. That or Pain is going to just say screw Dragon and push up middle and take those turrets for free. Looks like they're going to try to get set up for it though. They're moving into the Dragon pit. I think this Dragon fight is going to be really huge for either team. Because to be honest, I think it's coming to the point of the game where if you win this Dragon fight, you can probably snatch a Baron off of this.
All right, well, let's see if that does happen in about 15, 20 seconds right now. And I want to point out before we get to that Dragon is that look what Pain have picked up in terms of their trinkets. They have 3 sweeping lenses. They invested that early on. We see the hook actually land onto Gentlix. They're going straight in onto him. They burst him down instantly. BRTC picks up that kill, but now chasing that Dynamax, who's being chased down from this Olaf. Gets exhausted, but he doesn't care. He's freaking Olaf. Gets the kill, and just like that, they pick up 2 very quickly. We see the ultimate coming out of Carpus. Minerva getting very low. He does get the play before he does get picked up. But still, what a fight coming out of Pain right there. It's a 2-for-2 trade overall.
Yeah, it's really good that you noticed the sweeper trinkets because they managed to... Oh god, Annie actually ended up killing the Olaf by herself. The little girl just took out that big-ass Viking. But yeah, it's good that you brought up those sweeper trinkets right before that fight because that's how the Thresh got that hook, is because they cleared out all the vision, they didn't see the Thresh sitting there in the brush, and he just got the hook for free. It was a blind hook, and they were walking over to try to, I guess, control Dragon area, which they showed up for a little bit late. Jesus Christ, that Andy just got chunked so hard. But yeah, and they just showed up for late for Dragon. Like, they killed all the Dragons before this. They should be the ones waiting in position to control that Dragon and to basically be waiting for a pick on their own. They should be waiting with Annie in some brush or Volibear in some brush to initiate on Pain Gaming and have the vision control there. But they just didn't have any of that.
What's so weird about that fight as well is that Pain was the one to initiate it. Or sorry, it was Pain. I was thinking the other way around for some reason, but they came out actually behind, even though they initiated. They lost 3 people to the 2 only on Isurus's.
Yep, Karthus finally has his Archangels completed, so he's going to hit a pretty big power spike off of that. His AP is going to go up pretty substantially. He's at 279, and before he was like, I think at
112-ish.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial how much AP he just got off of that. So I think he's going to be more of a force to be reckoned with in these team fights now.
Why don't you walk us through the rest of the items that we see coming in as well? Because Cholito, Sunfire Cave done, Random's Omen almost completed, but we do have the Random's done on Nariot now.
Yeah, the Olaf he's just piecing together whatever he can get his hands on. He's like, oh, like this cloak thing, this looks cool. Maybe this chain vest, like maybe I need that. Like he's not really trying to finish a single item right now. I think he might go for the Sunfire here since he is sitting on the Giant Spell and the chain vest, and then I don't really think he's going to build a Thornmail here or GA, so it'd probably be a Sunfire. And he's also just sitting on that Bilgewater Cutlass, I guess, because he wants that extra slow. And a little bit extra AD and lifesteal is pretty nice on Olaf as well. And then the Maokai's opting for the Locket Rush again, because he wants to be able to prevent a lot of that AoE damage from that Karthus. And then, of course, Ori, somewhat of a
Oh, the hook, it lands on Annie, they're going to go for the fight, Annie's going to go down! And the vision, the Pain Ward Fade right there is able to pick up that kill, and Pain just seemed to have Isurus' card read. They know exactly where to go and exactly when to fight them.
Seems like Minerva just randomly learned how to play Thresh all of a sudden. He's hitting like every hook now. Yeah, pretty big change from what we saw before. And he's actually going for that really late coin item too. He wants to get the Shurelya's now. It's funny because he went CDR boots before he ever finished either his gold item or his went for the Shurelya's. It's kind of weird that he did that.
Really interesting to see that picked up, and we do see Sunfire Cave completed just like you were pointing out earlier. And I wanted to take a look at the AD carries because BRTC, he was doing well in the early game. He was farming. He hardly ever really got caught. He's now 3-2-1, and he has a Bloodthirster, Static Shift, and Last Whisper completed. And I want to bring this up specifically because last game it was all about the AD carries being able to take down the tanks that would rush at him, and we're having that same thing happen again.
Well, you have to remember when Draven got that kill in the bottom when they were 0-3. He had a lot of Adoration stacks built up, so I think he probably got around 800 to 900 gold off of that one kill. So all those 3 kills that happened before, Draven doesn't care. He's just going to build up all his Adoration stacks and then just get that one kill and just catch up to you right away.
And it's a great job by Pain. I have to give him credit. I mean, they're almost taking the lead. 1,000 gold difference between these 2 teams. They're tied up in kills, and considering how the game started, I mean, Isurus just looks so damn solid, taking away pretty much every single buff they possibly could. They went for that early dive on the Venom top lane, got the kill, went up 3-0, but Pain just seemed to finally figure out what to do here. We're going to see Venom get caught here, but he does have that Ragnarok. He's going to be able to run away here. But that actually is, I want to say, a win for Isurus because without ultimate being available, he kept chasing.
Ultimate.
Oh, he didn't though.
Yeah,
okay,
he just got sped up by the Orianna W and just managed to run out. I mean, he's pretty tanky, so I don't think he's too scared about getting initiated on by that. And you're coming into the same situation that happened before, is these teams don't seem to understand there's other objectives on the map rather than Dragon and the outer turrets. They don't really want to pressure the inner turrets, and they don't really want to try to control their blue or their red side jungle. And they don't really want to control Baron. There's so many objectives on the map right now that they can be looking to move on in vision control and to look for picks and to progress the game. And instead, it looks like they're just waiting for something to happen.
And we do see off of that, I mean, because I was thinking about the trinkets for both these teams. We do have another sweeper lens picked up for Isurus. Seems like they don't want to get caught in that position yet again of getting hooked over the wall. But in terms of levels, it seems like the supports have finally seemed to have caught up here a little bit. We see Minerva at level 11, LaSmart at level 10. So Minerva actually caught up and surpassed LaSmart off of these last 8-10 minutes.
Yeah, they've been grouped for so long. I guess the Annie just fell behind a little bit. And yeah, she's usually been in a group with like 3 or 4 people. So Thresh has also been picking up a lot of kills, which gives them a lot of bonus XP.
And right now we do see Isurus, they're kind of grouping up here inside the jungle. Shyvana is going to come up from the bottom side as well. And as we've seen before, you land a hook, you get a kill. That's pretty much how it goes here. Minerva's been finally able to step up and land quite a few of those. But we do see the random omen now done for Cholito. And I have to say, I mean, Shyvana has been doing a fantastic job of farming. He was down quite a bit of CS. He's now at 171 to 127. I wonder if we're going to see the impact come into these fights.
Yeah, he has 2 fully completed items. He has Randuin's Omen and his Sunfire. A lot of armor. Not much in the magic resist department, though. I mean, I know Shyvana has a pretty good amount of MR from her passive. But I think Orianna's going to be able to chunk him out really hard since she went more of that flat pen build.
Right now, we see everyone on Isurus actually backing away, going back to base here. Look, they're trying to buy up right before this dragon does come up in about 30 seconds. And Kame going to do the same as well, go home here. And a lot of wards been invested by Pain's side to gain control, to gain vision of this. Because if we look towards the tops of the jungle, I mean, they're going to spot them coming in pretty much from anywhere here.
Yeah, it looks still like Pain Gaming. I mean, they may have the vision control. Like, look at all the wards. There's like this pentagram, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, pentagon of wards going on here. 4-sided, never mind, what am I talking about? It's like a square of wards, but there's 5 of them.
Learning shapes with Saint.
Yeah, learning shapes the same, man. This is hard. Nobody said there'd be shapes in a lot of League of Legends.
I'm sorry, I forgot to put that in the little packet, but here we go. We're seeing both teams group up for Dragon here. We see the sweeper lenses coming in here, and Cholito might get caught out a little bit. Oh, he's actually chucked quite a bit, and Surti going straight to the backside on the LaSmart. He gets hooked, he's not going to get the stun off just yet. He flashes over the wall, the stun comes in, the Ori ultimate just pulls it together and Narian. And Cholito, who were so tanky, doesn't have the magic to survive. BRTT's hiding him! He gets the kill, he's dodging the Corvus, he's dodging the dodge ultimate. Will the shield be enough? No! He gets taken down, but
Game
they get an
Drake.
ace!
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before we went in this fight. That Orianna, he hit Shyvana with just 1 combo, didn't even ultimate him. Took him to half health instantly. And nobody really has that much magic resist on Isurus. Like, they, for some reason, forgot that Orianna was in this game. I mean, Orianna has a death cat completed, her Athenes. She has a massive amount of AP. And I don't think that she's the one you want to be ignoring in this game right now. She has 400 AP before she's bought.
And the thing is about Orianna's, it's very black and white for them. At least the way I've seen them over, you know, the spring and summer split of ULCS is that if they don't do well early game, they don't keep farming, they don't get the items, their damage is really minimal. That's why we call it the mech wave. But right now, I mean, even though they were down those 3 kills, even though he wasn't able to get this blue buff, or the first blue buff that he was able to get, he's 2-0-8, 262 CS. He's been doing a phenomenal job of staying in this game and really being a backbone for his team. Yeah,
I think that's one of Orianna's strengths is just, she's a power farmer. And if you let her get to that late game situation, she will control your entire team. And she's actually, she's very good versus Isurus team comp. Shyvana's going to be running in, Volibear's going to be running in. Karthus, of course, has to go in pretty close to do his damage with his Defile. And it just lines it up perfectly for Orianna to counter-engage.
And we do see BRTT, he's picked up a BF Sword and the Spectral's Cowl, so it looks like he's going to be going in, I'm assuming, for his Infinity Edge if he wants to momentarily, and yeah, also has that magic resist.
This is actually was this one of the first times I've ever seen the blue trinket purchased on somebody?
I don't even know the name, that's how many times I've seen it.
Yeah, it's the
Greater Orb.
Greater Orb.
So he upgraded as well.
Yes, he upgraded. I mean, the vision range you actually get on that, since they changed it, is really far, but I still not sold on getting that over a sweeper trinket or even upgrading to get the pink ward. Kind of a weird pickup there.
And the thing is, it's funny because they have an Orianna to spot, to get vision if they need to. If they need to check bushes, they have a Thresh with the Lantern as well.
Malachi with his sapling. Like, they have so much vision check.
Oh, right now, Cholito, he might get caught. I just popped a wall over that ward. The ward over that wall. There we go. That's the correct way to say it. So he does force them back away. And they do force him off this, and Pain, for one of the first times in this game, we've seen them the aggressors. They're the ones pushed up into the enemy team's territory, and they're going for this turret, and that thing is just dropping so fast.
Yeah, that turret's just gone. They killed that in like under 2 seconds. Just instantly gone. And the crowd seems to be really enjoying that.
I remember, what, ward kills back at Worlds in Season 2?
Oh, God, don't remind me.
Oh, the good times. But we do see Isurus, they're pushing out finally. We do see Pain with a nice gold advantage currently, 50,000 at 46.3. They have the turret lead, they have the kill lead, they have the lead basically everywhere across the board.
I like what they're doing here. They're using their sweepers. They're getting control of that red side jungle. They're denying all vision. And they have a little bit of war coverage around Baron. I don't think that they're going to quite go for it since they have that wave pushing in bottom. I think they just want to spend their gold. They got a pretty nice push off top, and they got quite a bit of gold off of that. So I think they're just going to go back and buy, get some gold, get the waves pushing out, and then maybe start trying to control Baron.
And speaking of gold, I mean, you see BRTT sitting on 1,500. You see Kami sitting on 1,500. We saw Vedon sitting on 1,600 towards the top side, but he actually has completed his Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, the Draven caught up so fast in the gold. He's, I think, what is he, 4,000 ahead of the Lucian now?
Yeah.
I think that adoration actually kind of paid off there. And that's one of the best things about Draven is you get just that one nice kill with the adoration, and you're like back in the game. So, yeah, I mean, you can see he almost has 6 items at this point in the game. It's only 34 minutes. I think he's trying to finish that Infinity Edge before he gets maybe a Banshees, I want to say, he's going for here.
I would assume that, so we can't get, like, flipped, but or actually any stunned as well.
Yeah,
that definitely helped him out
he
quite a
finished
bit.
the Banshees first.
Right.
I think that's just, yeah, he doesn't want to get flipped. He doesn't want to get card assaulted. He doesn't want to get initiated on by Annie. Really a smart purchase by him, going for that rather than finishing in the Infinity Edge first.
And right now we see Pain still grouped up here. They keep saying over Isurus' side. Chulito off by himself to farm up. He's currently sitting on 206 CS, over 50 to his opponent in the lane. But he hasn't really been offering too much in these fights because Pain's just been able to control him and shred through him with Kami. Yeah,
they just have this really good disengage. Like, Maokai is going to peel anybody that's coming in on the team. You have Orianna to disengage the team fight. Yeah, and Orianna just does so much magic damage right now, and they don't really have any magic resist for that Orianna. She
almost doesn't matter now. Yeah.
And hunting guys completed, so she doesn't really care if you get a Negatron at this point. So I think it's a little bit late on that Locket pickup by the Volley Bear. I don't think that's going to save you now. That Orianna is pretty scary.
Well, Dynamax has been able to complete his void stuff as well as a rod on, or not Death Cap, sorry. Needs a large rod on top of that. I wonder if that will actually go into a zoners or a Death Cap to get the extra damage or the extra survivability.
For on a Karthus, I would say it's probably going to be the Death Cap. I don't think he's planning on making these team fights alive.
All right, now we do have Chulito coming in from the backside. He was spotted earlier on. They do know he's there now because of the great ward coverage that Pain has been able to put down so far. And they still have those 3 sweeper lenses and the 1 greater orb picked up over on Pain's side. And Isurus, they're kind of enjoying all this free farm that they keep getting because Pain hasn't really forced many objectives lately. All they've gotten was really that second top tier turret. Yeah, the Thresh is going back, I guess, to get more wards. And he also has Mikhail's Crucible completed, so that's going to help out a lot if the Annie does end up getting a good CC off on somebody. But that's really their only CC outside of a slow that Isurus has. So I don't think that this Draven is going to be dying anytime soon with the Banshees and the Mikhail's backing him up. And of course they also have Locket out of the Maokai. I think that was like 1 hit out of Orianna, 1 combo, and there it dropped to about 2/3 life.
Yeah, it's like I said, he just doesn't have the magic resist there. That Orianna is a monster right now, and she's definitely the scariest member.
Oh, there's Annie flash on it, hits no one, they flash out of it, Kami dodged it, and they turn right around the ult out of Orianna, hits nothing though, and Chulito comes in from the backside, Merritt gets the kill to SRT, now Pain are being forced to run away, but BRTT's so healthy, he can force this fight if he wants to, as Minerva drops, and Isurus pick up 2 kills with that wonky engage.
I think that was a contest to see who could miss more abilities from each of the teams. Yeah, Annie, and Orianna's like, yo, you missed your ult? Like, I'll show you. I'll miss my ult too.
Oh, but Pain, it's got to harm a little bit, unfortunately for them. They did use a lot of flashes. Kami, actually, that was a fantastic flash dodging that Annie flash Tibbers right there. He's able to keep him alive and still put on that harass. I think if that Orianna ultimate hit though, that would have been a very one-sided fight.
Probably the end of the game right there.
Oh, Kami!
Oh my
He ran right into the ward and gets picked off by Genthix. What a great play by him. Quick reactions, and Dragon is available, but right now Pain, they're going for it quickly, and they just might be helping out Isurus, or they might even be able to get it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Orianna just didn't move down to get that Dragon. That's free global gold. Dragon scales in the late game. It's probably going to be, what, 300 gold for each person at this point? Pretty big objective. Yeah, it's 257 gold for each person. Pretty big objective at this point in the game. And I think that they should have been looking to control that a little bit more than trying to get some chip damage off and getting shot with the Gats.
Yeah, the thing is, Dragon, I mean, when everyone's 16 or average or higher, it's 1,500 gold total.
Yeah, that's pretty massive.
And Baron's 1,300.
Yeah, you actually get more gold from getting the Dragon than you would get. I mean, of course, you don't get the buff, but I think really what they want to do is they want to get some gold. They want to get... Yeah, they just want to get everybody 6 items and force Baron. And they should be really controlling Baron right now. I have no idea why they're not.
I mean, you pointed out Magic Resist so many times, and that extra gold that they were able to pick up off of that Dragon might have just got them a couple of items they need, maybe not. We'll find out, obviously, as the game goes on. And why do you think that neither team is really contesting or trying to control Baron? Because Pain, they have a great team to really force it, but I mean, yeah, you have an Annie-Sun, I guess, to really watch out for, as well as a Karthus who can just sit in the middle of Baron Pit and hit every one of you with his
yeah,
Defile.
But they have Shirelias and Mikhails and Banshees. Like, if I were them and we were doing Baron, I wouldn't really feel that confident that Isurus could hard engage on them. Like, they can just start Baron, see what the other team's doing, see if they're going to contest it, and then just back off. Like, they don't have to fully commit to this Baron. And I think that they should realize that. And they need to be putting more pressure on that. And it looks like the Volibear still says screw it, and he doesn't want to get any more Magic Resist.
Just building that health up.
Yeah, same thing with the Shyvana. They just don't seem to care about this. Maybe they're banking on Orianna missing her ult and ulting herself again.
Maybe. We'll find out obviously as this game goes on a little bit later. 39 minutes in here, and remember, it's just they're fighting for their tournament hopes here. They need to win this game to keep their hopes alive and advance in the semifinals. For Pain, they do pick up this win. They will be advancing on, and semifinals, I mean, it's pretty much once you get there, I believe you get into Katowice. So a lot on the line here for the World Finals for Argentina Extreme Masters, and right now both these teams still being very hesitant.
Look at that massive wave that is piling bottom. That's probably over 1,000 gold worth of minions right there, and it's a lot of XP, and that's just going to be fed right to that
turret. The flash hook, and hits nothing. Unfortunately, Dynamax, look at how low he got. Off of one combo, he's just sitting right by the ball. He did get the Zonies off. He's able to escape here, but you see the Thresh Box able to lock in Cholito. The ultimate coming on Karthus is not going to do that much damage, and Pain pick up that quick, easy kill. They're going to push on his turret here, and I wonder if they can pick up an inhibitor as well.
Yeah, it's a nice Hourglass by the Karthus, but he just got chunked out way too hard to be able to go back in the fight. He doesn't have his flash up either, so if he did decide to come back in, he probably would have just died for free.
Oh, and you see the damage on Listron right there. I mean, that's still 2/3 of his health just from one quick combo to Kami, who I believe he does have blue buff, and he pretty much has that full cooldown reduction that he needs to keep spamming these left and right, and it's getting really difficult. Dynamax did use his ultimate last fight, though, so they're not going to have it for this one, and they're going for that engage on a BRTT, but look at the damage he's doing to him! He takes him down by himself with really no help from his team. They're going to keep pushing in. They're going to go for this turn as well, and with Certainty there with that twisted advance, Isurus has to get this up. Look at the damage that Annie just got taken. Certainty jumps on top of him. They have the backup for the team. That is another kill. Hook even lands on a jet, and the Orianna ultimate shreds it down. That is an ace coming out of Pain Gaming, and most certainly it's most likely going to be the game.
That's probably going to be the end of the game. Orianna just used her ultimate in the team fight before that, and guess what? It's already back up again. Does he have a blue bot on right now? I know he has blue buff. Okay, yeah. So such a short cooldown on his ultimate. He managed to use it 2 times in one team fight.
And Cholito, he's going in, he's trying to do something here, trying to defend his base. He gets taken down. The ace comes in yet again here, and Pain Gaming are going to go 2-0 against Isurus Gaming, advance into the semifinals here at Intel Extreme Masters SAO Paulo.